So, let's see if our mics are on. They are. You saw Lauren with the children in Malawi. And I hope that what you have all seen is this. Ooh, isn't that nice? This. Did you all see one of these in your travels at the Aspen Ideas Festival? And if you haven't, you will soon, and Lauren will tell you where to get one. And now he's going to tell you how he came to do this and what you just saw.
Thanks very much. The video you just saw about Nano, Malawi, a place that in February our team went and made our first donation of 11,000 nutrition packs through Partners in Health, is just the tip of the iceberg of malnutrition in the world and in Africa. Malnutrition is in India, it's in Haiti, it's in Nigeria, it's in South Africa, it's in Kenya, it's in Ethiopia. This is just the tip of the iceberg, but I wanted to take you there and give you a sense of what we saw and the kids we saw and the reason we started 2 Degrees, and that is to make a dent in the problem of malnutrition, of severe and acute malnutrition in small children. It's not that people don't know what to do about malnutrition. We all know what the solution is, and these nutrition packs, what we call nutrition packs, but which are ready-to-use therapeutic foods. This is made in Malawi. We know what to do, but it's a supply problem. And so we founded 2 Degrees on the principle that we wanted to bridge that gap. We wanted to use ordinary consumer behavior to bridge the gap between the need for these nutrition packs and the supply of them. And the way we decided to do that was to start a food company, 2 Degrees Food. And we thought, well, how can we do it? How can we do it in a way that ends up providing millions and tens of millions of these nutrition packs? And so we thought, well, we needed to use an ordinary food product, and we wanted to link people on a one-to-one basis. We wanted people to be connected to children who were hungry. And so I thought back to a time when I had been here 5 years ago at the Aspen Institute, and I heard Blake Mycoskie talk, the founder of Tom's Shoes. And that idea about using a one-to-one business model stuck with me for years.
Could you remind us of just what that business model is that interested you?
So what was interesting was that for every consumer product that was purchased, in the case of Tom's Shoes, a pair of shoes purchased in the United States, and then a pair of sandals would be provided to a child somewhere around the world who needed it.
And we have someone wearing one of those shoes who was showing me that pair of shoes. Is Graham here? He can hold up the pair of shoes. But in any case, that really is a concrete demonstration of that model.
Well, it's also a concrete demonstration in a way of the power of this gathering, that it was an idea that I heard 5 years ago, and it just stuck in my mind. And it was combined with being in the Congo and being in Rwanda and being in South Africa and seeing malnourished kids. And then the light went on, what if we marry these two together? What if we marry a business model of one-to-one with the idea of helping malnourished kids? And so we started 2 Degrees Food, and the first question was, what is our first food product? And the one that seemed to make the most sense to us was a bar. I mean, this isn't a bar, but it sort of looks like one. And we wanted a food product that was widely used by American consumers.
Can I just ask what didn't make sense? Yogurt? I mean, what were some of the things you discussed that just weren't going to fly?
Well, I think actually yogurt and coffee and all the other sorts of products that you see that Newman's Own has all do make sense. The one that would have been perhaps obvious was bottled water, and we didn't want to do something that from an environmental point of view wasn't so good, just plastic bottles, and we wanted to do something that was healthy, that was nutritious for American consumers. Our tagline is good, does good, and so we wanted to create a really good food product, and that would be the inducement for American consumers to say, well, to answer the question I ask everyone, and I'll ask you, if you're a bar eater and I gave you a bar that at least tasted as good as whatever bar you were eating, and every time you bought it, you knew you were helping another person, would you switch? 99.9% of the people I asked that question to answer the same way you did. Of course I would. If it tasted as good and I could help another person, of course I'd switch. So that was the idea behind the company. But then we had to actually create a bar that all of you would want, because you have one of our bars in each of your bags. And so that was the most important first step that we could take. And so we found Bar Hogan, who's the friend of a friend of mine, who's the daughter of a friend of mine. And Bar's here today, actually. And she should stand up because she deserves, there she is, she's waving her hand.
And will you attest that your name on your birth certificate? It's Bar.
But it's B-A-R-R.
Oh, okay.
So Bar spent 6 or 7 months creating our first 3 products, a cherry almond bar, an apple pecan bar, and a chocolate peanut bar. And we knew that unless we had just a first-rate bar, we wouldn't have a business, we wouldn't be able to give nutrition packs. That was the first requirement. And Bar had been the chef and the head of product development for Odwalla. So she had lots of experience in creating first-class food products that were healthy, that were natural, that were nutritious. And then we had to build a team, because I didn't come from the food industry and I was barely a bar eater. And so now our team is composed of people from Cliff, from Method. Our marketing director was the marketing director at Luna. We have a real hotshot young marketing guy from Starbucks who's joined us. We have somebody from General Mills. We have the former director of innovation for Pepsi North America who's on our board. This is a collection of people who came to 2 Degrees because of the mission. You can ask Bar, you can ask Dan Lewandowski, who came from General Mills. You can ask Mina Mensramani, who came from Pepsi. They came because of the mission. That's what motivated them, and that's what motivated us. So then you might ask, well, you've created a bar, you've created 3 bars, and I'd say we started this whole process of creating the company just a little more than a year ago. So last summer, we created a logo. The logo you saw in the video and you'll see on every bar is 2 people, actually created by a young Indian graphic designer, crowdsourced.
What does that mean, crowdsourced?
Crowdsourced.
In this case.
So what we did was we said, we need a logo. This is what the company's about. A message went out on the internet on a site called 99designs.com. We said we'll pay a prize of $700. We gave people 72 hours. And in 72 hours, we had 800 entries from graphic designers all over the world. And the one that we chose